Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about some server issues as well as certain campaigns which are actually ending earlier than normal. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to go over is, of course, whenever the co-op starless suppression operation comes out, it seems to be really laggy on the servers. And the reason for this is because when you automatically queue for UQ, it throws us into all ship matchmaking. And this also applies to basically every other game mode, so Nameless City, Lucille Exploration, everything else that also has all ship matchmaking. That is actually the culprit. Because as we can see here under known issues, performance sometimes drops during quests with all ship matchmaking, and they're basically saying that yes, you will get lag, you will get performance drops, sometimes you get some FPS drops and all of that stuff, and the main culprit, as usual, is of course all ship matchmaking, so there are some hiccups. So in order to avoid these problems altogether, simply disable all ship matchmaking. So when we go to Nameless City over here, go to configure matchmaking settings and just uncheck enable matchmaking and then go in, and that way you will only be playing with other players on your ship and it resolves the situation entirely. Especially with the UQ, if you have all ship matchmaking enabled, sometimes you might get stuck in a loading screen for like 30 seconds or even more. That actually happened to me earlier when I was running the co-op starless suppression. We got stuck in a loading screen for about 30 to 40 seconds as an entire party, and many of us thought that we crashed or we were stuck in an infinite loading screen. And so by the time we actually loaded into the UQ, it was just the 4 of us because the other 4 players thought they crashed, and so they just left. And so if you're doing the UQ, just turn off all ship matchmaking. It'll resolve a lot of problems. Now the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Saint Great Rappy is coming to Nameless City. As we know, this campaign is currently running and it is an absolute gold mine because you just get a lot of Meseta whenever you defeat those Rappies, and they literally spawn like every 3 minutes or so. So it is very profitable and it's a good way to make a lot of Meseta. However, there is an issue with this picture over here. As you can see, it says that it will run from December 18 all the way till January 8th. This is not correct. As you can see right here, it says it is incorrect. It does not end on January 8th. It's actually ending an entire week earlier, where it ends on December 31st. Now, don't worry, you still have some time to run this. Basically, we have another entire week to run this. But basically, instead of having 3 weeks to run this, we're only getting 2 weeks. So if you have not completed the 2 limited time tasks over here, Saint's Great Rappy Suppression 1 and 2, where you get a total of 10 and augmentation transfer pass vouchers, make sure that you do this quickly or early, because even though it does say here that it does end on January 8th, this is a typo. It will be ending on December 31st, so 1 week earlier than normal. And last but not least, I do want to point out that Ship 2 finally has a 12-star rarity weapon on the market. They are the Jet Boots, and as you can see, they are currently going for 500 million. They did unlock the weapon potential, so we can see it in English over here. As I went over in yesterday's video, the potency is 44%, all allies increase potency plus 2%, and critical rate plus 5% for 20 seconds when you down a nearby enemy. Now for my friends who are wondering whether the weapon potential would be different based on weapon type, like the Relic series back in the Retem days, this is not the case. All of the 12-star rarity weapons do share the same weapon potential of Conquest Unit level 6. So basically, regardless of what weapon you're using, you will have this weapon potential. Now, does it stack? That is the very big question that I do not know yet, because obviously I do not have a 12-star rarity katana yet. But, when we do find enough players with this weapon, that's definitely something I would like to test. Now, if you guys have tested it already for yourselves, please let me know in the comment section below, because this would be absolutely busted if it could stack. Can you imagine if it stacks like 4 times or 3 times, where you get like 15% or 20% extra crit rate? That's actually pretty insane. And of course, that extra potency would be pretty crazy as well. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.